ये हमारा इंस्टा आईडी है, इस पे हमें फॉलो करें एंड हमारी इंस्टा फैमिली का हिस्सा बने।
हेलो गाइस, आज का हमारा टॉपिक है फिजियोलॉजी ऑफ ब्लड। इसमें सबसे पहले हम लोग देखेंगे बोन मैरो एंड हेमाटोपोएसिस। सो व्हाट इज बोन मैरो? Bone marrow is a soft sponge-like tissue which is present in bones and where the hematopoiesis occurs. And hematopoiesis is formation of blood cells, that is RBCs, WBCs and platelets. Okay, अभी bone marrow जो होता है, bone marrow में present होते हैं stem cells. Okay, so what are stem cells? Stem cells are undifferentiated cells which can differentiate into any type of cell in the body, and these stem cells are different from the normal cells as they have a unique quality, that is self renewal. Like suppose this is a stem cell, so this stem cell will differentiate, okay, and one group will further differentiate to form a cell line, and it will form a specialized cell, a specific cell, and the other group will form the stem cell only. Okay, this is the self renewal, and these stem cells undergo a symmetric division. Now the stem cells have different types, like there are totipotent stem cells, pluripotent stem cells and multipotent stem cells. What are totipotent? अभी हम लोग एक एक एग्जाम्पल लेके समझेंगे इसको. सो फॉर एग्जाम्पल zygote. Zygote is a cell which will give rise to the whole organism. So zygote will be called as the totipotent stem cell. And now we'll see the pluripotent stem cell. What is pluripotent? Example of it is blastocyst. So now zygote will further differentiate into 2-cell stage, then 4-cell stage, and further it will form a blastocyst. And this blastocyst will be lined by a single layer of cells, and inside there will be inner cell mass. In our body there are about 200 different types of cells. So this inner cell mass will give rise to different types of cells, and that is called as pluripotent stem cells. So now we'll see what are multipotent stem cells. So multipotent stem cells are the specialized cells which will give rise to a specific cell, that is called as multipotent stems. Okay, and these are found in many organs. Now we will see the hematopoiesis at different stages of life. The cells which forms the blood cells are called as stem cells, and in early embryonic life the stem cell starts appearing in yolk sac at around the 3rd week of gestation, and after that at the 3rd month of gestation these stem cells starts appearing in liver and spleen. That means the hematopoiesis starts occurring in liver and spleen at the 3rd month of gestation. After that, at the 4th month of gestation, the stem cells starts appearing in the bone marrow, and that means the hematopoiesis starts occurring in bone marrow at around the 4th month. And important point is, just before the birth of the baby, the liver stops the hematopoiesis, and in a newborn baby all the hematopoiesis occurs in the red bone marrow. And if in a newborn baby the hematopoiesis is occurring extramedularly, that is outside the bone marrow, then it is a pathologic condition. अभी हम लोग देखेंगे hematopoiesis. Hematopoiesis means the formation of blood cells. तो blood cells में आते हैं erythrocytes means RBCs, leukocytes means WBCs and thrombocytes means platelets. तो अभी जो bone marrow होता है, bone marrow consists of pluripotent stem cells and totipotent stem cells. तो ये जो pluripotent stem cells होते हैं, these are the cells which can give rise to any type of cell in the body. Those are called as pluripotent stem cells. Now these pluripotent stem cells give rise to lymphoid stem cells and myeloid stem cells. These cells are called as multipotent stem cells. Now these lymphoid and myeloid stem cells, what is difference between them? So the lymphoid stem cells give rise to lymphocyte, that is a type of leukocyte, and these myeloid stem cells give rise to granulocytes, then platelets and erythrocytes. अभी हम लोग देखते हैं lymphoid stem cells कैसे form करते हैं lymphocytes को. These lymphoid stem cells differentiate to form the pro-natural killer cells. These pro-natural killer cells are the precursors of natural killer cells, that is NK cells. So they will form the natural killer cells which will be released into the peripheral circulation, and there they will get activated. And after that, the lymphoid stem cells differentiate to form pro-T stem cells. These pro-T stem cells are actually precursors of T cells, and they will differentiate to form T cells, and through the peripheral circulation they will go to the thymus. फिर thymus में जाने के बाद उधर वो mature हो जाएंगे, and there they will form from CD4 and CD3 they will form T helper cells, and CD3 and CD8 will combine to form T cytotoxic cells. After the maturation of T cells, they will be released into the peripheral circulation. Then the lymphoid stem cells also differentiate to form pro-B stem cells. These are the precursors of B cells, and they will differentiate to form B cells, and B cell gets activated in the peripheral circulation itself. अभी आते हैं myeloid stem cells पे. So the myeloid stem cells differentiate होके form करेंगे committed cells. So committed cells of erythrocytes, platelets and basophils. They will also form the committed cells of granulocytes and monocytes, and also the committed cells for eosinophils. Now we have the committed cells for erythrocytes, platelets and basophils. They will form the erythroblast, which will be differentiated to form erythrocyte, and these erythrocytes will be released into the peripheral circulation, and they will also form the megakaryoblast, and as we all know, megakaryoblast give rise to platelets, that is thrombocytes. And also these committed cells will differentiate to form a colony forming unit of basophil, which will be forming basophils. अभी आते हैं committed cells of granulocytes and monocytes पे. So these committed cells will differentiate to form granulocyte precursor, which will form myeloblast, and this myeloblast is also called as the precursor of neutrophils. So these myeloblasts will form the neutrophils, and these committed cells will differentiate to form monocyte precursor. These monocyte precursor will again differentiate to form monoblast, and monoblast will form the monocyte. After going to the tissues, these monocytes are converted to macrophages. ये macrophages को अलग-अलग tissues में अलग-अलग नाम से जाना जाता है. So when they are present in nervous system, they are called as microglial cells, and when they are present in lungs, they are called as alveolar cells. When they are present in liver, they are called as Kupffer cells, and when they are present in spleen, they are called as dendritic cells, and when they are present in kidney, they are called as mesoglial cells, and when they are present in bone, they are called as osteoclasts. Now अभी आते हैं committed cells of eosinophils. So these committed cells will differentiate to form eosinophiloblasts, and eosinophiloblasts will give rise to eosinophils, and they will be released into the peripheral circulation. Sometimes these committed cells gets destroyed, so body can't produce enough blood cells, and that condition is called as aplastic anemia. And also sometimes there is a lack of blood cells in the peripheral circulation, and that is called as pancytopenia. अभी हम लोग देखेंगे red blood cells. The red blood cells are also called as erythrocytes, and the process of formation of erythrocytes is called as erythropoiesis. अभी हम लोग देखेंगे erythropoiesis. Now, the precursor cell of erythrocytes is called as proerythroblast. Now these proerythroblasts are large cells with a large nucleus. These cells have basophilic cytoplasm and a large nucleus which contains loose chromatin, and this loose chromatin is called as euchromatin, and this nucleus also contains prominent nucleoli. And why these nucleoli are present? They are present because nucleoli produce ribosomes, and ribosomes synthesize the proteins, and they have to synthesize the proteins like hemoglobin. So there is presence of nucleoli in the nucleus of proerythroblast. Now proerythroblasts further differentiate to form basophilic erythroblasts. Now these basophilic erythroblasts have more amount of ribosomes in their cytoplasm, so they stain blue color, and that's why they are called as basophilic erythroblasts. And these basophilic erythroblasts, they have the nucleus which is somewhat condensed, which is smaller in size than proerythroblasts. Now as we move forward, the size of the cells goes on reducing, and also the size of the nucleus. These basophilic erythroblasts will further differentiate to form polychromatic erythroblasts. Now this polychromatic erythroblast, why it is called as polychromatic? It is called as polychromatic because its cytoplasm contains the basophilic ribosomes as well as the eosinophilic hemoglobin. As in this stage, the hemoglobin starts appearing in the cytoplasm, and that's why it is called as polychromatic erythroblast. Now, this polychromatic erythroblast will differentiate to form orthochromatic erythroblast. Now this orthochromatic erythroblast, the nucleus of this cell is most condensed nucleus, and this is also called as pycnotic nucleus. The cytoplasm of this orthochromatic erythroblast, it consists of more amount of hemoglobin and less amount of ribosomes, that is orthochromatic erythroblast. Now the nucleus of orthochromatic erythroblast is excluded, and now it is called as reticulocyte. Okay, and these reticulocytes are called as index of erythropoiesis. Now these reticulocytes will be released in the peripheral circulation, and they will give rise to mature RBCs. Now this erythropoiesis process is stimulated by a hormone called as erythropoietin. Now where erythropoietin is produced? So erythropoietin is produced in kidney. The endothelial cells of the peritubular capillaries produce the erythropoietin. The peritubular capillaries contains the endothelial cells, and those endothelial cells sense the partial pressure of oxygen in the blood, and if the partial pressure is low, then they start synthesizing the erythropoietin, and this erythropoietin stimulates the process of erythropoiesis, and so that more and more RBCs are formed, and this is how the erythropoiesis is regulated. Now, like erythropoietin, there are other two components which are also important in maturation of RBCs, that is vitamin B12 and folic acid. Now, sometimes the maturation of RBCs fails due to poor absorption of vitamin B12 from gastrointestinal tract, and that condition is called as pernicious anemia. अभी हम लोग देखेंगे hemoglobin formation. The hemoglobin is an iron containing protein that transports the oxygen from lungs to tissues and also the carbon dioxide from tissues to lungs, and this hemoglobin is also called as the acid-base buffer. Now, how this hemoglobin is formed? The 2-succinyl coenzyme A, that is from Krebs cycle, plus 2-glycine forms a pyrrole. Now, these 4 pyrrole rings forms protophyrin. Now protophyrin along with the iron forms heme, and heme when combines with polypeptide forms the hemoglobin chain, that is alpha or beta. Now there are 4 types of chains, that is alpha, beta, gamma and delta. Now 2 alpha chains and 2 beta chains, they form a hemoglobin A, that is an adult hemoglobin, and it is present in 60%. Then 2 alpha and 2 delta forms hemoglobin A2. This is also the adult hemoglobin. And 2 alpha and 2 delta forms the hemoglobin F. This is fetal hemoglobin. F for fetal. This is fetal hemoglobin, and this fetal hemoglobin have high affinity to oxygen, so that it can pull the oxygen from the maternal circulation to fetal circulation. Now, sometimes there is qualitative deficiency in some types of chains, and that condition is called as thalassemia. अभी हम लोग देखेंगे indices. सबसे पहले हम लोग देखते हैं hematocrit और PCV. PCV is packed cell volume. Hematocrit is the percentage of red blood cells in the blood. How much red blood cells are present? That is hematocrit. The normal value is in men is 41 to 50%, and in women it is 36 to 48%. Now we will see MCV. What is MCV? MCV is mean corpuscular volume. One single RBC का volume जो है that is MCV, that is mean corpuscular volume. MCV formula is PCV, that is packed cell volume or hematocrit, divided by RBC count. Okay, and the normal value of MCV is 80 to 50 FL. FL is femtoliter and femtoliter is the unit of MCV. When MCV is less than 80, this condition is seen in microcytic anemia, and the MCV more than 100 femtoliter is seen in macrocytic anemia. Now the next index is MCH, mean corpuscular hemoglobin, that is the weight of hemoglobin in average RBC. The formula of MCH is hemoglobin divided by RBC count. The normal value is 27 to 32 picograms, and when MCH is less than 27, it is called as hypochromic, and when MCH is more than 32, it is called as hyperchromic. Now next we will see MCHC, and its full form is mean corpuscular hemoglobin concentration. It is the average hemoglobin concentration per unit volume of packed red cells. Okay, the formula is hemoglobin divided by PCV, packed cell volume, per 100 ml. Okay, divided by 100 ml. Its normal value is between 32 to 36 gram per DL, and this value is called as normochromic. And if MCHC is less than 32, it is called as hypochromic, and when MCHC is more than 36, it is called as hyperchromic. अभी हम लोग देखते हैं white blood cells, that is WBCs, also called as leukocytes. So there are two types of leukocytes, granulocytes and agranulocytes. Granulocytes include neutrophils, eosinophils and basophils, and agranulocytes include monocytes and lymphocytes. The difference between them is granulocytes contains granules and agranulocytes doesn't contain granules. But it is not true actually. These agranulocytes also contains granules, but they are not specific. The normal count of leukocytes is 7,000 to 11,000 cells per microliter, and if this count is less than 7,000, the condition is called as leukopenia, and if it is more than 11,000, the condition is called as leukocytosis. अभी हम लोग एक एक करके देखते हैं. First of all हम देखेंगे neutrophils. How these neutrophils are formed. The precursor cells for the neutrophils formation is called as myeloblasts, and these myeloblasts further proliferate to form promyelocyte, and this promyelocyte will form a myelocyte, and in this myelocyte there will be appearance of primary granules, and after these myelocytes are formed, these myelocytes gets differentiated to form metamyelocyte, and now these metamyelocyte contains secondary granules. These metamyelocyte after forms a band form, and at this stage the primary granules starts disappearing, and at the end when band forms the mature neutrophils, the primary granules fully disappear. So in a mature neutrophil only secondary granules are present. So as these secondary granules are the specific granules, these mature neutrophils come under the group granulocytes. These secondary granules, which are specific granules, they are also present in eosinophils and basophils. Now, the myeloblast converting to promyelocyte and promyelocyte converting to myelocyte, these three stages, they are called as mitotic proliferative stage, and it takes about 1 week. And after that, the metamyelocyte converting into band form and band form converting into neutrophils. This also takes about 1 week, and it is called as the non-proliferative stage. So, for the formation of a mature neutrophil, it takes about 14 days, that is 2 weeks. अभी हम लोग देखते हैं how these neutrophils work. If there is a tissue injury, some chemoattractants are released at the site, and these chemoattractants send signals for the attraction of neutrophils, and these neutrophils are circulating in the blood. Then the neutrophils starts rolling over the endothelial cells, and after that, in between the two endothelial cells, the neutrophils squeeze and come out of the blood vessel by the process of diapedesis. It is also called as transmigration, that is squeezing of a neutrophil to come out of a blood vessel. Then it comes to the tissue, and like this it reach at the site of injury. After reaching at the site of injury, the neutrophils phagocytose the bacteria. Suppose this is a neutrophil and this is a bacteria. So ये neutrophil क्या करेंगे? These neutrophil will form these pseudopods. The pseudopods are projections. These projections around these bacteria and they will engulf them. Neutrophils will engulf the bacteria inside the cell, and after that these granules present in neutrophils, they will release some lysosomes that will degrade the bacteria. Like this, phagocytosis occurs and the neutrophils increase in case of acute infection. अभी हम देखते हैं eosinophils. Eosinophils are increased in case of allergies and parasitic infection. Increase in number of eosinophils is called as eosinophilia. In parasitic infections, eosinophils bind itself to the parasite and then release the hydrolytic enzymes in them, and like this eosinophils are used in parasitic infections. These eosinophils also have reactive forms of oxygen. Then they have larvicidal polypeptide which kills the larva of the parasite. Then they also release histamines which break down the histamine and thus stops the inflammation. अभी हम लोग देखते हैं basophils. Basophils, they are very less in amount. They are only 0.5 to 1% of all the leukocytes, and they are increased in allergic conditions. And basophils release heparin, which is an anticoagulant जो blood clot होने से रोकता है, histamine and bradykinin. Then अभी देखते हैं lymphocytes. Lymphocyte consists of T cells and B cells. T cells provides the cell mediated immunity and B cells provides the humoral immunity. Okay, now T cells जो होते हैं फॉर्म होते हैं बोन मैरो में बट मैच्योर होते हैं थाइमस में. And there are two types of T cells, that is T helper cells and T cytotoxic cells. T helper cells are further of two types, T helper 1 cells and T helper 2 cells. Th1 release the TNF, that is tumor necrosis factor, and INF, that is interferon. And Th2 stimulates the B cells. Th2 releases interleukin 4 and interleukin 5. And these interleukin 4 and 5 causes B cells to convert into plasma cells, and these plasma cells in turn forms the antibodies. So these interleukin 4 and interleukin 5, these are produced by T helper 2 cells, and B cells provide the humoral immunity. And B cells are formed in bone marrow, and after going to the peripheral blood they are matured. अभी हम लोग देखेंगे platelets and coagulation cascade. Platelets, also called as thrombocytes, these are anucleated cells and they are about 2 to 3 micron. Like आप ऐसे ध्यान में रख सकते हो कि 2 or 3 platelets will combine to form one RBC, as one RBC is 7 to 8 microns. So सबसे पहले हम लोग देखते हैं why blood does not clot inside a blood vessel. तो अभी इसका आंसर ये है कि there are some anticoagulants present in our blood. The endothelial cells lining the blood vessel, these cells release nitric oxide, then prostacyclins and ADP phosphatase and also heparin. These are secreted by the endothelial cells of the blood vessel and these are called as anticoagulants. इनकी वजह से ब्लड वेसल में ब्लड क्लॉट नहीं होता. अभी हम लोग देखते हैं कोएगुलेशन कैस्केड. इधर मैं आपको ड्रॉ करके बताती हूँ. इफ दिस इज अ ब्लड वेसल and these are the endothelial cells, this is the injured endothelial cell, this is a blood vessel. If there is an injury to a blood vessel, the very first response is vasoconstriction. Okay, then after that these injured endothelial cells start secreting a factor which is called as von Willebrand factor, VWF. Okay, so this VWF will be secreted here, and this von Willebrand factor will get attached to the collagen, okay, at the injured site. Now the platelets gets attached to this von Willebrand factor, and this process is called as platelet adhesion. After that, this von Willebrand factor activates these platelets. And after activation, the platelet starts secreting some granules present in it, and these granules are alpha and gamma granules. These are present in platelets and on activation platelets start secreting the alpha and gamma granules, and these alpha and gamma granule products, those are SAC, okay, like serotonin, ADP and calcium. These factors cause the aggregation of platelets, that is, some other platelets also get attracted to the site of injury, and now this is called as platelet aggregation, and this is called as a primary platelet plug. Now, after the formation of primary platelet plug, there is activation of intrinsic pathway as well as extrinsic pathway. Now, what are intrinsic and extrinsic pathway? अगर हम लोगों ने किसी का ब्लड लिया एंड उसको एक टेस्ट ट्यूब में डाला, तो उसके बाद वो अपने आप कोएगुलेट हो जाता है, तो वो किसकी वजह से होता है? तो वो इंट्रिंसिक पाथवे की वजह से होता है, बिकॉज ब्लड कंटेन्स सम कोएगुलेशन फैक्टर्स which causes the intrinsic pathway to occur. अभी ये intrinsic pathway होता कैसे है? There are 13 coagulation factors and these coagulation factors are released by liver, and those coagulation factors circulate in the blood, and on coming in contact with the injured endothelial cell or activated platelets, the factor 12, that is Hagman factor, this factor gets activated, and this factor in turn activates the factor number 11, and factor 11 will activate the factor number 9. Now, the factor number 9 in presence of calcium, factor number 8 and phospholipids activate the factor number 10. This factor number 10 will cause prothrombin to convert into thrombin, and thrombin is the main key which will convert the fibrinogen to fibrin, the soluble fibrinogen to insoluble fibrin, and now these fibrin will entangle around this primary platelet plug, and it will form a tight plug that is now known as the secondary platelet plug. Now, in extrinsic pathway, some tissue factors are released from the injured area, and these tissue factors will activate the factor number 8, and factor number 8 will activate the factor number 10, and after that same happens as in intrinsic pathway, like factor number 10 will convert prothrombin to thrombin, and thrombin will convert fibrinogen to fibrin. Now, what is thrombus? So, thrombus is a semi-solid mass derived from a constituent of blood to plug the puncture point of the cardiovascular system, and when the plug is present inside the blood vessel, it is called as thrombus, but when it is present outside the blood vessel, it is called as clot. सो गाइस, अगर आपको ये वीडियो अच्छा लगा हो तो लाइक, कमेंट एंड शेयर करना। अगर आपको कोई डाउट हो या फिर आप किसी और टॉपिक के बारे में जानना चाहते हो तो आप कमेंट बॉक्स में मेंशन कर सकते हो। स्टे सेफ, स्टे हेल्दी, बाय गाइस।